what would you like to do? Pay rent or get these tiny little earbuds that makes your life that much, just that little bit easier,
Yeah, you know.
right?
I got a new phone, by the way. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is a good start to the podcast.
It
Hello,
is a good
welcome.
Hi.
I love doing these like super like totally random. I actually need that phone. Cold opens that have nothing to do with the episode or like anything that we're going to be talking about.
That's true.
Just because of the pure nonsense that is involved.
That's essentially us. Hi, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Francisco.
You're also very quiet for some
Thank
reason.
you.
There
I
you
need
go.
to speak up.
Yeah, there you go.
My bad.
It's
Hi,
okay.
I'm Francisco.
He's getting acclimated to his new workplace.
That's true. It's why I'm looking fancy today.
Yes.
But yeah.
And this nice jacket of yours. So today, first of all, a big important note.
Yep.
Did I say my name, by the way? No, my name is Marshall.
Yes.
We are podcast masters. And
Hello.
today, you may have noticed, just from the clicking, if you clicked on this video, it's a half hour shorter than our normal episodes.
It is.
That's
It really
because
is.
we're experimenting with having shorter episodes, and that way the content is a little easier to digest. And then we kind of keep it to just the one topic throughout, and then just more of talking points about it.
Yeah.
That way making it hopefully a little more manageable.
We do this for you. But yes, what's the
Yes.
topic today, Marshall?
So we talked about we were going to be going over this in a couple episodes ago, which was an article we had talked about, but we didn't actually give the name of, which benefited us because they gave us a nice teaser
Right.
for today. And that's going to be games for those who do not like Dungeons and Dragons, or at least maybe you want to play something else.
Yeah.
The nicer way to put it.
Pretty much. If you don't like Dungeons and Dragons, then what are you doing here? I'm
Yeah,
kidding. I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding. We
no,
love you
but
regardless.
we were very clearly very one-sided on that type of argument. Play enough of it. So there's definitely, obviously, different options out there for tabletop gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Or role-play gaming. I guess we'll stick to that. Because obviously, in terms of tabletop gaming, there's oodles of card games that exist. One I miss kind of dearly, in a way, but I don't, is Weiss Schwartz.
What?
That was a good
Oh,
game.
yeah.
That was a solid game.
I just
I have mine too.
Yeah, I just found mine the other day.
Oh, yeah?
It was really interesting.
We should play one day.
Yeah, right.
We'll come here one day and play it.
I have that broken deck that
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh,
balanced
yeah, that's right.
at
The
all.
Nisei Koi deck is
Yep.
like super broken.
Shout out to the Nisei deck.
Yeah. But then another one I miss always is Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's another story. It's just nostalgia
Yeah,
from high school.
pretty much. But yeah, in terms of tabletop games, you have
Yeah.
the
But in terms, RPGs.
RPGs. My bad. In
What?
terms of tabletop RPGs, you have the one.
The
The
big one we
games-
always know is D&D, but there are so many others that are out there.
Oh yeah, like the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, is Pathfinder
Mm-hmm.
as well. I had the pleasure of DMing a Pathfinder game.
Yes, this recently when we were at GaryCon.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Still have the lane
Also my first Pathfinder game.
here. Yes. Really, a good way to start your way in anything is always to DM it.
Pretty much, I was like, all right,
Have you ever played this game before? No, great. All right, manage everyone else.
there we go. And I'm like, can I do this?
John is over here pointing at himself.
Pretty much. Like, can I do this? Yeah, I think you can do it as a bonus action. There's no bonus actions in Pathfinder.
Really busted.
Uh,
At least later on.
pretty much. Yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Pathfinder, the DCs get really crazy after a
Yeah,
while.
they do. But also, it's because your addition, like the things you add, become really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like at level 10, you'll have something that's like a plus 16.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's just, and like we're used to seeing that in our Thursday games sometimes, because we'll have like these weird magical effects that'll always give us these huge buffs. But in like the normal game, you don't really see that too much. You'll maybe get, like if you have expertise, maybe you'll get like a plus 15. But
Perhaps
that's
yeah.
such a small pool. Like anybody can get that like plus 16 in Pathfinder at level 10,
much.
and just from normal things in the game.
The barbarian was stupid broken.
Oh yeah. Well, they've always
And I
been really
loved him.
strong. I think in any D&D like RPG.
Pretty much, but yeah. So Pathfinder, a lot of
but-
fun. Great
So
game.
we have a list here that we're kind of going to go off of, and the first one they list is a real cop out, but I feel like it's somewhat worth discussing,
Okay.
which is the different setting. So if it's not the rules that's taking away from D&D, but it's the fantasy theme, maybe you like sci-fi,
Right.
other things.
Maybe something more modern.
Yes. There are many other options. So some of the ones that obviously mentions in terms of genres are things like in which you can always kind of find these in different ways. They have like people have made like cyberpunk setting books or PDFs,
Right.
built like books. Post-apocalypse. There's even ones where people design them like tunes, which I think this article does mention later. But if not, we'll talk about the actual game that it is. But you could kind of go into like super, steampunky or like 18th century, just pure sci-fi.
Right.
Like we are doing on our Wednesday show now, which is Dark Matter. So like that, for example, that's just a setting that the Middle Finger Vecna group make. That's in alpha, and we're kind of playtesting it in a way.
Yeah.
But we play that just because I wanted to have a sci-fi setting, and originally I was just gonna do it right off the book, but then John, who again is off camera, showed me the Dark Matter book, and it was exactly kind of the way or good, like it was exactly what I was looking for in terms of a setting. Our friend Aaron found another like big 5e sci-fi setting book when we were at GaryCon.
He did. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I remember that.
It's a big book.
It is a big book.
Because Dark Matter is just a PDF that you buy. That was a real book.
Yeah.
It was about this thick.
It's almost as big as the Pathfinder one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Good comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've obviously experimented with that idea. Going right back. I'm referencing you a lot today, John.
Hi, John.
He made an entire campaign on the 1920s, which we've talked about before. Which
is
now 19. What is it? What year is it?
35.
1935.
Yep.
So we've gone one time skip ahead.
Feywild.
Well, and the original was the Feywild the original time we did a time skip? Oh, okay. I thought it was just something else. I wasn't sure how often we had to deal with time magic.
I went from
because I was gone the day that we did our original time skip, and so were you.
Yeah, that's true.
Except I was just at work. You were in the military.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and it's funny enough. I went from Clown of Vecna to militant. So
yes,
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
A lot of options when it comes to like different settings you do, and you can obviously once you already start homebrewing a big setting, then you could take it in many directions that you want.
True. Actually, today we're trying out the modern setting.
Yeah, so what we're doing today, which is our Friday group, now we are trying what is a conversion on a conversion on a conversion. So originally 3.5, I don't remember the original group that made it, but they did like a cross to make that work in a modern setting. So that was just D20 modern.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody a couple years ago made a conversion for 5e. Which was pretty basic. It didn't actually take a lot of like liberties in terms of its creation. And then just super recently, within the last couple months, I think, like it was in late 2018, somebody did a new version of that conversion for 5e. So now there is and that's the one we're working on right now, or we'll be playing with.
Oh yeah.
So definitely a lot of options. We're going to see how this one works. We'll probably let you know as we go here.
Oh, yeah. It's either going to be, hey, man, remember that one thing that happened that was so crazy that it kept happening and that we all died?
Yeah.
Or it might
remember when we stopped playing D20 Modern?
Right.
Because it was bad or because we didn't like it? We'll find out. Updates coming in the future.
Right. But, yeah, so that's all I can think of for D&D, just different settings.
Yeah.
What else does the article say?
Wow, man, this really scrolls down. All right, let's...
New phone, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's the article. It's just really...
New phone.
It has nothing to do with the phone. It's the article. I'm trying to actually like find the other games it mentions. All right, it's being dumb. So I'm just going to use the ones that are on the cover here because I know what they are. And one I actually do want to talk about... well, obviously, so one that shows up here, which is a solid one, which is just Pathfinder. We talked about that.
Right, yeah.
If you don't like 5e and you kind of miss 3.5, or you like 3.5, something that is getting a second edition very soon is Pathfinder. Something, and I've played Pathfinder actually. I played it for about 3 years. And I really liked it because I liked it because we called it 3.75. It was a good mix between 3.5 and 4E at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would say now it is a better mix between 5E and 3.5. Because 4E is just so out,
Yep.
out the wall. I would say it's closer to where 5E is and 3.5 combined.
True.
And so that is a game that is currently though having a similar rule set to 3.5, but it's at least getting currently updated on.
Do you think what if they model after 5E with the second update?
Well, now seemingly, at least based on the book, like all the playtest stuff.
Okay.
So, I've looked at it actually. You can actually go and buy it. I know at Barnes and Noble at least you can get it. I don't know how many game stores would carry it.
Right.
Depends, I think, kind of on your game store's like needs. This one for example, it's not on its list, but other ones may have it. You can get the Pathfinder Second Edition playtest book.
Right.
And it's pretty much the same. You need to fix your cord there for a second here.
Do I?
Yeah, it's humming a bit.
All right.
There you go. Just get that tight grim.
Yep. I'm used to it. But that brings up another question. If you're bored of 5e D&D, just go to a different edition, like 3.5.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, Pathfinder does have its like unique aspects to it, even from just a D&D perspective.
Yeah.
And it just has like classes that really aren't in either. And that's kind of why I was mentioning that. So another one that's actually really interesting, but you can't. It's not updated now, but you can definitely find books for it. There's two actually technically, but one I haven't played, or at least even seen. I didn't technically play this one, but which is this like the Star Wars RPG.
Oh yeah.
It's a very interesting. I've seen it. I've never actually played it, but I've seen it at least being played.
Mm-hmm.
It is very interesting. And actually, another game store that I've gone to sometimes, more closer to Milwaukee, actually does have a good amount of the books from the Star Wars like RPG.
Really?
And it's very interesting to like peruse through. Because they don't really make them anymore, but I guess like somebody was either printing them or something like that. It's just not like being supported now.
Right.
But it's a game to play still.
It's true. I know out there.
Can't stop you from playing it.
I know in a similar vein out there's a Star Trek RPG. I just don't know where it is.
That one didn't get nearly as much traction though as the Star Wars. Like that one actually like had like a big following for a bit, at least as big as tabletop RPGs got, especially when it was running.
Right.
Like now it is at a better swing than probably a long time. But it was, it obviously was not like in the greatest of circumstances at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is something that is actually really interesting. Here we go.
What else you got?
I'm trying to look through this, but it's not helping me because like some of the things is that it's not actually like it's not actually giving me like the other names like I thought it did. Might have been a different article, but sadly.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I do know.
I
do know one off the top of my head, which is if you're thinking of a more futuristic setting, like we were talking about earlier, Shadowrun is always a fun one.
Yes.
Because who wouldn't want to be a street samurai, just cutting down people in the street? Funny enough, just tearing off their heads while in the back you have your shaman summoning spirits, and with the risk of them going out of control. And your decker being a dick. Play Shadowrun.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to be like the Matrix?
Pretty much.
It's a lot like that, except
you want to make money?
Almost worse.
Be a Shadowrunner.
Well, character.
Yeah.
Not real money, sadly.
I know.
Sadly, you can't play Shadowrun and actually make money.
Yeah, but they do have 3 really good games on Steam that I've played, all of them. They're a lot of fun, as far as video games based off of RPGs can be.
So there's one I was actually really specifically wanting to look for.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember exactly the name of it, which is what I'm trying to look up right now. But it's a, I guess you could kind of call it not really post-apocalyptic, but like it's a sci-fi game where you are essentially a group of maintenance men, supposedly,
All right.
and you are kind of so your character has like this set of clones. So you make your character, you have a set of clones,
Okay.
and what's like an alternative? There we go. This might be part of it. But yeah, so you're playing a number of clones, and then so your character is going to die like very fast. It's
Spoiler alert to all those watching.
so yeah, the game is actively against you because essentially you are always. Oh, that's what it is. Paranoia.
Paranoia?
That's it. Yes. So let's see if I can find a better. So essentially, this is how this article puts it by Medium.com. Basically, Skynet is in charge of a sealed underground city called Alpha Complex, and you are one of its special agents called the Troubleshooter. Your job is to shoot the enemies of Alpha Comics, commies, mutants, traitors, and sometimes commie mutant traitors. And anyone can be any or all of those, so trust no one. Also, you will die a lot, but that's okay. You have 5 backup clones. So this was actually really interesting because, yeah, so essentially anybody in the group can be a traitor or at any point you can just turn on your party and there is an overarching AI robot that is watching everything you do, knows everything you're doing. It's essentially the DM, and they know everything you're doing. And if they can see you work against them, which is very hard to hide from them, but if they can see you working against them or trying to do anything, they'll kill you. Not only that, they'll have the other people in your group kill you. I played it a couple times. It's really fun actually. It's something that if you're looking for something that's kind of short, it's not like a long-standing game to really play. It's not a game where you're gonna sit with that character and you're gonna have this huge backstory and plug them out for sessions and sessions and hours. You're gonna play it as a one shot or a few hours, but you'll have a lot of fun doing it. Because you just are either you're going to fix the mainframe because there's some commies have entered the area, but then it turns out you play a character who is a commie, and you're trying to sabotage this mission, but you're trying to do it in a way that doesn't make you look like a commie so that you live. And then it's such an interesting game because there's so much you don't trust anybody. It's great because if you're used to it being in a group of D&D players that never trust each other, are always fighting, have them play this game.
Oh man,
it takes everything that they do and just amps it to 10. It's so good.
It's all right, you guys begin here. I shoot everybody. Why would you do this?
See, but that's the thing is if you do it too obviously, you'll get the system itself will go against you.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be coy about it. You have to essentially have to make it look like an accident. I try to set up the computer to explode when someone else comes to look at it.
Okay.
Stuff like that. If I remember exactly everything correctly, it was a long time ago that I played this, but I do remember just having a really fun time with it. But there's a lot of fun things that you could do to kind of really screw with each other. It was a very comedic, but also very stressful game. That's what made it so good.
Those stress games, man. It's why every time we play D&D, I stress eat all the time.
You do get a little hungry. You get strangely hungry after D&D. Who would have thought?
Right? But yeah. So what's that called again? Paranoia?
Yeah, Paranoia. It is an old game, but a very good one. There are definitely other ones. One I mentioned, they didn't mention it directly on the list, but is one that I think is interesting to look at, which is the Toon RPG. So yeah, you get to, you essentially just are a cartoon.
Yeah.
All the things that come with that.
Oh man.
I wasn't sure if you were moving, so.
Yep.
But yeah, so you get everything that comes into that. There's a lot of shenanigans that goes along with it, obviously.
Of course, cartoons.
Yeah, the best way that I think I felt like whenever I would hear it kind of be described when like people would describe playing it to me was definitely just like, think of you like as the player or the detective to walking into Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So you're watching everything as a player unfold as there's just nutty things going on.
Right.
Just nonsensical, but it's cartoons. That's the way it is. Like, I make myself completely flat and just crawl under the door. I draw a circle with it and fill it in. Now it's a hole into the ceiling. The classic portable hole.
That's true.
That one's always yeah, you just
With a
erase
giant
the
pencil.
Yeah, take a giant pencil and just doodle bob them out. Me ahoy, nee hoy, moy.
I put my finger in
If
the
I played
gun.
Toon, I'd want to be in Doodle Bob.
There you go. I put my finger in the gun and it doesn't fire. 'Cause that's how guns work.
Yeah. It backfires on them too. Not only do I stop it with my finger, I have it backfire into their face. Because again, that's how guns work. Yeah, Toon is very comedic. Is a very comedic one. In similar of a comedic fashion, and I think a good last one to bring up here, and one I definitely want to play sometime.
Go for it.
Is the Maid RPG.
The Maid RPG?
Yes.
Hold on. Back up. You're telling me that someone sat down and said, what do these kids want to play these days? And when some other guy, presumably Japanese, is like, well, how about maids?
Have I never sent you the Maid RPG, Cisco?
No, you have not.
No. And yeah, I read through it and it is the greatest joy. The Maid RPG is pretty much this. So you all of the players, you are, I guess if you just want to say it, you could just, you're the servants to a master. So
Right.
you have the runner of the home or whatever, right? Think of this just like an anime, right?
Right.
So you are obviously going to clean, cook, do all normal maid and butlery things.
Mm-hmm.
But you may also just need to fend off a horde of aliens that are coming to attack.
Typical maid things.
Well, they're the threat to your master. You have to serve your master. Make sure that they're nice and safe.
So are you telling me that, is there a classification where if you have pink hair, you're automatically the yandere?
There's very much something like that, yes. Come over here, John, you're the expert.
All right, here we go.
Having read through it numerous times, because I've tried to run this game about 3 to 4 times at this point. They've all
You
backed
need to get them
out.
closer.
They've all backed out. It's been really tragic. But you can roll for flaws, some of which are like nymphomania. I'm a vampire. You can be like, I'm a mummy girl. You have body sizes. You have powers. In theory, you can have a 0 combat skill, so you lose every single fight you ever get in. But then you have other powers, like I summon a horde of demons. I shoot like magical guns.
Yeah, who needs to fight yourself when you can have the demons fight for you?
Exactly. It's
demons.
It's a great system, and the game will have, like, it gives you pre-set up, like, areas for, like, if you're running a fantasy game of it, if you're running a space game of it, Wild West, like, a D&D game would run, like, depending on your settings, since it's being brought up setting changes and all that. But also, like, what the monsters are for the setting, and, like, how being a servant fits into this. And it's a great game, and I really want to run it with you people one day.
Well, if Godbound doesn't go well.
That's true.
Hey, another one. Godbound.
Oh, yeah.
Do you always talk about, there's always the things about serving gods and D&D or maybe even fighting them.
But
Why not be them?
Yeah, what if you were the god?
Yeah.
Also Peter.
Yeah. Or you could just be like our friend Peter, who's just going to play a common mortal cleric, like a level 1 cleric surrounded by gods. You go for it.
Yeah. The basis of Godbound is you pick 3 words, and those 3 words dictate what you're able to do. Peter is just going to be a regular human who gets no words.
No.
So
or really even facts, I think. Yeah, no.
No.
So, yeah, but you get these 3 words to kind of dictate yourself off of.
I forgot what the facts do.
What exactly is the facts again?
Get over here, John.
John back again.
The fact system is how like you describe your character gaining in power and what their previous stuff has been. So when you start off in the game, you have your origin fact, which is I'm from blank, like, or I am a dwarf from Yadia. I'm a kitsune from blank, that sort of stuff. Then you have your past career, which can be used as like I was a knight captain for the guard of this city, or I was a bar maiden who suddenly became a demigod, and it ropes into like how your character in their past life has now changed with their growing deific powers. And the last one is your relationship, which is encouraged to have with like a faction in the game, another player, your objects if you want to be a materialistic bastard like most players end up being. That sort of stuff.
In any game, really.
And then when you level up, you can make another fact about your character. Usually it's supposed to be related with whatever adventures you had run through that game. But it can also be like, all right, we saved the arch wizard from like the horde of demons that were outside of his house, because every wizard always has to deal with demons for some reason. But now
weird.
I can fact the wizard taught me all of his magic, so now I'm a master pyromancer as well. So it's how you get like features for leveling up on top of your other gift stuff.
Yes. So definitely like a lot. There's a many levels of where that game can go. It's very much you're given a basis and you really get to kind of set the manifestations of those things.
Pretty much. Thank you, John, for that lovely
yes.
explanation.
Yes, thank you very much. So
He's
there's
a
a
historian.
no, he
for
is
it.
a resident historian, and hence why he remembers everything way better than either of us do.
Yeah, sure.
But I want to take the kind of last part of this, and I'm going to somewhat segment this part out to its own video because I want more people to be able to see it.
Go for it.
But I want to end this podcast just with a small update of kind of where we're at on things, what we're planning on doing. So we're going to kind of do a weird intro here for a moment, but that's because this is for the cutout part of this.
Okay.
So sorry for the podcast listeners. You'll see us doing this again, but it's just for the sake of when we cut this kind of part out. So just going to kind of go in with, hey guys, my name is Marshall.
And I'm Francisco.
So we're your runners to Natural One. And one of the things we really wanted to do today was kind of get an update on kind of where things are right now, where we're planning on going, and what are somewhat of our goals that we're trying to get out here. Just because it's been a while since we kind of posted exactly like what we want to do, or at least what we wanted to do, and now what we're kind of being able to do at the moment.
Yeah.
So the first thing I think we should obviously talk about is right now we're experimenting, obviously, with a half-hour podcast time.
True.
That's something we'll maybe just kind of see how it goes, how digestible it is, if maybe it's easier for people to view.
If you guys like it, of course we'll do more of it.
Yeah. If you please let us know how you feel about it. If you like how much we're doing, or if you like the time, if you feel like it should be, if you like to be being an hour, then we'll do that. But I figure my thought was a podcast is really ingestible during a commute. So in most people's commutes are not going to be an hour long, maybe up to about a half hour, or something like a break even.
Yeah.
So that's why I figure a half hour is a little more digestible. Also, it gives us more of a confined like topic level. We don't have to kind of worry about getting these like two levels of topics.
True.
So then the other part, then we've obviously somewhat been lacking is kind of on our other YouTube content. One of the things that we're going to try to do is get more videos out in the future. But currently right now I'm mainly working on producing a pilot episode that will show up onto this channel. We'll partly just see how it goes. It's something I'm doing for my classes at school. Partly it's kind of my capstone project. So I'm going to get some details about how that production schedule is going to actually pan out today after we're done recording.
Right.
But that is kind of a big reason why I haven't been able to do a lot of the production stuff that I wish I could. The other part is also right now, since Franny has still been acclimating to civilian life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The process itself is getting a lot easier, but it's taking me still a little bit.
And the biggest part for you, is you just, like you said, you just started a new job.
Yeah.
So because of that, his ability to help me out with things like editing, or he's not doing it just because he doesn't want to.
No.
He actually is incapable of doing it at the moment. So until you can get that, obviously, we are limited to one editor at the moment.
If I can get my laptop at my job, then we're good.
Or you can just have a laptop that maybe
That's
would
true.
work for video editing.
Also true. Yeah.
That
you're not
is
wrong.
also a part of a problem right now. But yeah, so we're trying to just kind of once we can get better functioning equipment between the both of us,
Yeah.
then we'll be able to do a lot more. We have one video that is kind of in the bag at the moment. We're waiting to kind of get it out there because we're concerned it's a video series we want to do. And as a result, one of the things that we're trying to make sure we do is release it when we know we can do the other episodes.
Yep.
And finding a great schedule while he's been trying to get a job has been somewhat of a question. But now that it actually may end up being a little more open, or at least we know what kind of your schedule is going to be,
True.
we could potentially open ourselves up for more content recording times if need be.
So, what the point of this is, bear with us. We're getting to the point where we can give you content, or more and more content, the more and more you guys continue to stay with us. But until then, we appreciate all the support you guys have given us. And Marshall can easily tell you how much work, or I can tell you how much work Marshall has put into
So much.
this channel and making sure this works. So, yeah, thanks to you guys for really.
Yeah, anybody who's stuck around with us at least has been really appreciated. As we will be more consistent on getting. We've been talking about the VOD thing for the other series on our Twitch page that we live stream. That's another thing. We will be having 2 live stream shows up very soon.
That's true.
So that will be more. There will be more live streams coming, and because we will at least be on the right track with those, they will have more proper VODs put up onto this channel right away since we are starting fresh with those 2.
Yep.
As we mentioned, like when Dark Matter comes out, it will have been out for now, so you will have started to see the VODs for Dark Matter by this point. Or at least soon, depending on when I get this update out. It should be within the week, but obviously the first VOD will have been up by now. And then when your campaign is coming up in just a couple of weeks here, so we'll be able to get those VODs out too. So they will all kind of be available. They are coming.
Yes. Like I said, bear with us, and we thank you for all the support.
Yes, pardon our dust.
Yeah, pardon our dust.
All right. So thank you guys very much, and we will see you next time.
Bye.